I apologize for this delay because I was not informed that this meeting had been settled. I had told them to have some time, either in the morning or in the evening, today, and then let me know. So on the list of mulaqat, this was not mentioned. And from 11:45, or even before, I was sitting free, so I started doing other works. Now when I was going home, they said, "What about liqa ma'al Arab?" I said, "Which liqa ma'al Arab?" It's so unfortunate, but
no problem.
No, it's a problem for me. to have kept you waiting is a real problem for me.
To wait also is something recommended. To wait for something good and blessed, like waiting for the imam, is something also recommended.
Why are you sitting so far away? Come closer, please. Come closer, all of you. Come on. Come on this side, so you are also covered by the cameras. Oh, the distant camera. No, not with your back to the cameras. I want you to spread like this. Come closer. So that all the cameras that camera is watching them, and this one is watching you. So let's start Bismillahirrahmanirrahim with whatever question. Who would like to? You're going to monitor it? Okay. Yeah. Good.
السؤال الأول
No, not like this.
No, we start from the right.
From the right and then from anywhere. We'll mix it. Right to left, please. Yes, please. Ask him, he is the monitor.
While I was reading the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Kahf, it came to my mind that we can find in the Quran that the name of the Masihi Muhammadi should be Ghulam Ahmad. Because according to Surah Al-Kahf, Jesus of the Ummah Yahudiyya was Ghulam Musa. قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا, and they were mentioned as Ghulamain. So the Muslih of the Ummah Muhammadiyya that would follow Muhammad, peace be on him, should be as Isa was Ghulam Musa, then the promised Messiah should be Ghulam Ahmad.
I have resolved the same issue from a different route altogether. But first let him translate it, and then I'll suggest what I thought of. Okay? My answer is that this approach is a bit involved, and the non-Ahmadi Muslims will not accept it readily anyway. They think you are going around the way, and to prove something, you pick an involved argument. I believe in the Holy Quran it's very clear that it had to be Ghulam of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam. Because, first of all, what is the name of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam, the title of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam according to the Quran? Like Masih is Ruhullah, like other prophets are given titles. Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's title is Abdullah. See?
Yes. Yes.
So Abd means Ghulam.
Yes.
So he is Ghulamullah in fact. Abd and Ghulam are one and the same thing. And Ghulam in the sense you have mentioned is not a perfect slave. But Abd is a perfect slave.
Yes.
So perfect slave, the word Abd is used, not Ghulam, because here ibadah and everything comes. In relation to Allah, Abd is the most appropriate word which could be used to relate a man to God. Because it's not Abdiyat alone, it is Abudiyat as well. Both aspects of Abd are covered. But anybody who was to be related to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam could not be related with the word Abd. Because here he would only be Ghulam and not Abd.
Yeah.
You see, because otherwise it would be a sort of shirk.
Yes.
All the meaning of Abd as applied and understood in relation to God is applicable to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It can be applicable to humans. But all the meaning of Abd could not be applicable to, in human relationship one to the other. So that is why Allah gave him the name of Ghulami Ahmad. And instead of Ghulami Muhammad, to call him Ghulami Ahmad indicated that he would be the representative of Ahmadiyyah, the Shan Ahmadiyya of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He will not be the representative of Shan Muhammadiyya, which includes Sharia and Jalal and Jamal both. Ahmadiyyat comes without Sharia. So a perfect slave to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his Shan Ahmadi. This is what we find in the name of Hazrat Masih Maud Alaihi Wasallam. That's one thing which should be remembered, and I'll explain the same thing from with another reference as well. Another thing which is amazing we find in the Quran is that Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is given the title of Abdullah.
Yes.
Although other prophets are called also are all Ibadullah. All believers are also Ibadullah in this sense, but the title Abdullah was only given to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Yet he is the only one who is also called Allah.
Yes. قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي.
In that, not only in that sense. Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. Innama yubayyi'una Allah. The word innama is hasar. They are only doing bad at the hand of God. Yadullahi fawqa aydihim. Allah's hand which is above them. And وَمَا رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. So these references speak of Allah as Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam. But when read together, then the meaning dawns upon us that if somebody is a perfect abd, only then the name of his Malik can be given to him in the sense that he has nothing left of him in himself. So here it is not kalma shirk, it is kalma tawheed of the utmost value.
Of Abudiyya.
Yes. When Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is referred to as Allah, it is in the sense that he has nothing of his own person left at all. He has disappeared so completely. This is the perfect abd. That nothing of his is his own. Everything he has belongs to God now. So, as such, the name of the Akha or the Sayyid is given to the Mamluk or Ghulam to indicate that whatever he does on the authority of the Sayyid and the Malik. And this is what he himself says. And Allah also speaks of him. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. He doesn't say a single word from himself now. Whatever he says is from Allah. قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. So where is Muhammad left? It's only Allah who is reflected in Muhammad. So if a slave is perfect, the name of the Sayyid who owns that slave can be given to him to indicate his voluntary nothingness, not equality. In the light of this, we understand the meaning of Surah Juma, the prophecy. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. It's only Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is mentioned. وآخرين منهم. Who is it? Only Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم. No other name is mentioned but that of Rasul Ummiyan. Lamma yalhaqu bihim wa huwa al-azizul hakim. Now his second basat is not with the Sharia. So only attributes of Aziz and Hakim are repeated. While in the full basat of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Shan Muhammadi is mentioned with two other attributes of Allah. That is the first part. يُسَبِّحُ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ الْمَلِكِ الْقُدُّوسِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَكِيمِ. Malik and Quddus, they are not mentioned in relation to his second advent. Malik and Quddus are mentioned only with reference to Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Aziz and Hakim are also mentioned there. पढ़े ना आयत निकाल.
سورة الجمعة.
इसको जो
يسبح لله ما في السماوات
ما في الأرض الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم. This is what I'm saying. Is 4 attributes are given in relation to the first advent of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Malik and Quddus. They are not mentioned in his second advent. وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Only the last 2 are mentioned. And I can prove that the first 2 attributes relate to Wahi and Sharia. And Wahi and Sharia. Because it's a fantastic arrangement when Hazrat Rasulullah Sallam is described after this. Ba'atha fil ummiyina rasulam minhum yatlu alayhim is the first attribute. This relates to Malik. Because Malik is the lawmaker. It is Malik who commands the law and who legislates. So ayat are related to Malik.
Yes.
Yuzakki is related to Quddus. Quddus can create tazkiyah. So God as Quddus has sent Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam, and he has made him so perfect in Quds that he has started doing tazkiyah of others directly, without the need for any ilm, without the instrument of any hikmah. This is something which must be well understood, otherwise you will miss the import of this most wonderful, most beautiful verse. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, whenever he prayed to Allah for a prophet to be born in his progeny, that is Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam, he always prayed for someone who will yatlu alayhim ayatihi wa yu'allimuhumul kitaba wal hikmah wa yuzakkihim. Twice that prayer is found in the Quran, always with this arrangement. Never in the arrangement which God mentioned. And this was human thinking. A prophet of God, even to the order of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, he mentally organized that if somebody comes from Allah, if he tells them, gives them ilm, if he gives them the hikmah, only then they can be purified, not before that. So without any exception, whenever Ibrahim is mentioned to make a prayer, it is in this order. When Allah answers that prayer, it is in the different order. It says, Yatlu alayhim ayatihi wa yuzakkihim wa yuallimuhumul kitaba is after that. There is so wonderful internal organization in the Holy Quran that you can't find a single flaw anywhere. The first verse of Surah Baqarah perfectly tells you this. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, not هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, well, هُدًى لِلْصَاحِبِينَ الْحِكْمَةِ, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So Zakkihim comes with tilawat al-Quran. And ilm comes only when you have become you have got your tazkiyah. No man will be guided by the Quran unless he has got his tazkiyah. That is the meaning of al-muttaqin. So the order is changed. Previously people thought first you teach them, then you make them know the hikmah, the underlying philosophy of the things. Only then tazkiyah can take place. But Quddus, Allah as Quddus, does not need all these instruments. When He comes into contact with somebody, He purifies him. And this is the shan of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is not shared by any other prophet in the world. Nowhere in any divine book you will find this arrangement that he recites and makes tazkiyah. And once the tazkiyah is made, then they are capable of learning the true knowledge of God and the true philosophy of what they learn.
But is tazkiyah here conditional to recites?
Of course, because Malik is giving the recitation.
First of all.
First of all. So everything comes down from Wahi, with Wahi. And the influence of Qudus is also descending with the Wahi.
Yeah, but there's a question is raised here, that recitation is also giving ilm, ta'lim.
Yatlu alayhim means that he brings the Sharia, the law, the book, right?
Not teach them the Sharia?
It will come later. But he will teach only to those whom he has made pure.
First.
Because without purity you cannot understand the book. The standard of the book is so high that you need to under purity first. Now this is supported by the Quran. The true tafsir must be supported by the Quran. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. This is the meaning. Muzakkihim. Without tazkiyah, how can they touch? That is the meaning, understand. And this is exactly what the Surah Baqarah also says. Hudal lil muttaqin. Other things follow. Right?
So there is tilawah first, but ilm comes again, after.
Fine.
There is first tilawah, that is not ta'lim. Then ta'lim comes after.
Right. Tilawat is the revelation of Sharia.
Conveying the message.
The whole book. That is tilawah.
Yeah.
And how will they understand? That is the teaching of tilawah.
Yes.
And the profound meaning is hikmah.
Yes.
But they will be done after he has made pure people.
Yeah.
Created pure people.
Or they wouldn't be able to understand.
They will not understand. Correct.
Exactly.
Please. Now he has helped you understand the meaning better. I hope you will not miss anything. We developed one meaning of this surah which is not directly related to what I am telling you now. When I intend to connect it up, with that in a different way. Let me first connect it up, then we'll come back to the issue which we discussed. Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is only mentioned here. Then it is said that he will come again. If he comes again, Muhammad comes again, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which means his name is given to the one who is coming again. If it is proved that it is not Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, but someone else, will it be a shirk between him and Muhammad Rasulullah sallam? This is the issue which I am discussing now. It will be not, because the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam can only be given to someone who has destroyed himself completely and has left nothing of his own self in him, but he is Muti-e Kamil to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallam. So like the name of God was given to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, it was not shirk. It was exactly the opposite. So when Surah Jummah says Muhammad will come again, because he is the only one who is mentioned, it is not to indicate that someone equal to him would come. It is to indicate that someone who will destroy himself completely.
And
He'll have nothing.
Be Muhammad in projection.
Yes,
His morals.
yes, that's right. He will project nothing but Muhammad. This is the true meaning of this verse. So Ghulam Ahmad tallies with Muhammad and Abdullah tallies with Allah. It's a perfect equation and balance. Nothing that we are making from ourselves, the Holy Quran stands witness to it, that this is the true meaning.
There's a saying, يَقْفُ أَثَرِي وَلَا يُخْطِئ.
That's right.
From
That's
the
right.
following Mahaya.
Please explain this, then we'll turn to the second part. It's a different discussion.
Shall I explain this?
This first, please.
لقد
You bring these two comparisons together. In the whole of the Quran, the name of Allah is given only to Abdullah. So the name of Muhammad is given only to Ghulam Ahmad. Ghulam Ahmad has the same relationship equation as Abdullah has. So Ghulam Abdullah is given the name of Abdullah. Like Abdullah is given the name of Allah, not to indicate equality, but to indicate perfect slavery, perfect atat. Now you speak of the second part. This will tell you now.
Yes.
Why should anybody come at all? He can't come as Muhammad in the real sense, because the law belongs to him and tazkiyah belongs to him, which he got from God, and he is the first man in that. But ilm or hikmat are the two things which will be needed afterwards, because people will lose touch with ilm and lose touch with hikmah, and they would need to rehabilitate. This is their contact with ilm and hikmah. That is why Hazrat Masih and Mahdi are told by Hazrat Rasulullah sallam to sit on the seat of judgment and decide between the people, because they will be the custodian of ilm from Allah, of ilm of the Quran, or he will be the custodian ilm and hikmah from Allah. So that is how I read it, but you explain it. I'm repeating it because you may have forgotten, so I refresh your memory, please.
Thank you.
Yes.
العلم والحكمة من قبل الله سبحانه وتعالى.
Now this, having said this, the Holy Quran speaks of the person who it would be. It clarifies that it will not be this Muhammad Rasulullah sallam in person, but his name is being given to somebody else. The Holy Quran makes it clear, because the next verse says, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ. If Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah himself was mentioned, he had already given it. What does it mean, يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ? So this means the person who is being mentioned will be someone else, but he will be in the name of Muhammad Rasulullah. Clear? Yes.